What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today, BCH USD. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Let's get into it, okay? Let's not waste any time. It's the 21st day of January, and here we are at about $592 with roughly 8 hours, 46 minutes left in the day. Recovering a little bit. It's nice to see a 3.3% day to the upside. That's nice, but we could still move lower, my friends. We absolutely still could move lower. I'm not calling for us to move lower. Not yet, at least, but I'm definitely open to it. You know, from a low to a high, we've gone below our 382. We're back above it now. Bitcoin Cash really does like to find support right in this area here, right at or just below its 0.5, maybe even the golden ratio. So, I'm not calling for these prices, at least not yet. That was the call yesterday. Let's see if it'll be the call today as well. Things could definitely change with this kind of movement where we're engulfing, yesterday and the day before's candle bodies, and we're back where we were, about a week ago on closing price. That this can definitely change things, but I want to look at the short-term stuff. Is this just short-term volatility, a lower high, so to speak, in this little area here, and do we continue to move down? Be open-minded, be accepting, and don't be scared of price action down in this area. Okay, it's a blessing, not a curse, and we can still come up from there, right? I mean, if you had it your way, would you rather that Bitcoin Cash pumped back here December 2024 and it was already at $8,000 and now we're all the way up here and we're consolidating up here, right? Or would you rather that it took more time to consolidate? Now you still have an opportunity to buy before the massive breakout comes. That's just the same kind of thinking on a smaller scale here. Just because it's not going up right now is not a bad thing. You have more time to accumulate, more paychecks to put in. You will only have more whenever it goes higher if it does go lower from here. And the amount of downside that we have if it happens is completely insignificant compared to the amount of upside that we have to go, right? The upside, we talk about 2,700 to $4,000, $4,300, maybe even higher than that for this potential breakout target. But in the life cycle of Bitcoin Cash going into the years ahead, the cycles ahead, we're going to see hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars in price. That's going to come too. So it's just more time here to accumulate, even if it goes down, more time to accumulate at low prices before it gets to high prices. So I won't be upset if we go lower. I hope nobody else is upset either. But it is possible this is the low. It is possible that we move up from here. I want to look at that on the 1 hour and 4 hour and just see what we're coming up with here. So let's get into that, okay? Looking at the 1 hour time frame here, from a low to a high, we pulled back all the way to our 382.5 area. That's kind of interesting. It's like the same. We found support here at our 382.5 area on a larger fib. So it's kind of interesting that that's playing out here, that symmetry, that serendipity. Looking at this on the RSI, hold on. Looking at this on the RSI, bouncing off the 50, rejecting the overbought zone. I mean, overall, you look good. Overall, you look really good. I don't like that you rejected the overbought zone here, but now we're at the 50. This is a perfect area to find support, turn things around. I think overall right now you look pretty good. So I would call and pretty confidently call for higher prices here just based off the RSI. But it's the 1 hour time frame. Higher prices here does not mean we're absolved of going lower afterwards. You know what I mean? With that being said, looking at the RSI, I do expect, and this is the 1 hour time frame, I do expect that by the end of today, the day that we have almost 9 hours left in, we will probably close today above $596. We might close today back above $600, you guys. I think we're going to be moving up. The stochastics look good. That's a great bounce off the 50 there. You look great. The MACD's back above the 0, and we're building bullish momentum again. We're right at a point to bounce. It's perfect. It's literally perfect on all fronts. It's exactly what you'd want to see on a 1 hour time frame. I'm confident we do move up from here. Very confident. I wasn't so confident with Bitcoin. I'm looking at Bitcoin. I don't know if you guys hear this little guy. Do you see him? He just wants so much. That's Mufasa. He wants attention, man. He's funny. Bitcoin I'm not as confident in for being the low, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was the low. And the main reason for that is just this breakout of this trend. People get max bearish in moments like this. We really don't have that much volume here. I mean, there's a strong chance that this is the low and that we do move up from here. But when I was looking at the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frames, I just wasn't compelled the same way that I am with Bitcoin Cash. I look at this and this is very compelling that we're going to be moving up from here. So that's nice to see. And again, just important to mention, if we see lower lows than what we saw today or yesterday, whatever it was yesterday, that's okay. That's not a problem. Bitcoin Cash is not broken. But at this point, I'm starting to be skeptical if that's even a possibility. It's still a possibility. I shouldn't say that. A likelihood. Looking at the RSI, we are a little bit downtrodden. A little bit, right? Lower highs, lower lows. Very parallel channel. I know here it's like a little slope to the downside, but I still think we're breaking out. I didn't draw the best straight line. Let's just look at it here. Yeah, no matter what way you cut, I mean, with the straight line there, we are breaking out of this pretty parallel downtrend. Blemishes do happen. This could be a blemish. I call them blemishes where you like fake out, you prod, but then you come back down. They do happen, but I like the way this looks so far. It's a pretty abrupt reaction right there. You know, typically, we saw this abrupt reaction. We got into the overbought zone. That was good stuff. We got an abrupt reaction here, got into the overbought zone. Abrupt reaction here, we got in the overbought zone several times. And each one of those iterations, abrupt movement here, and then continuation. Abrupt movement here, and then continuation. Abrupt movement here, and then continuation. Abrupt movement here, and then continuation to the upside, probably for the next day or two, or maybe more. We'll see. It looks good. It's really starting to convince me that this is the low. But again, we're not at that point. I think that that we can confidently call this the low. Let me look. Let me look on something that's not Coinbase, because I don't know. Yeah, this you see this wicking high on Coinbase all the way at 686. It's not there on any other chart. So I'm just going to use this chart real quick. We'll take this high to this low. I would say when Bitcoin Cash gets above, let's say $630, really it's like 628, but 627. You get above 630 on a daily closing basis, I'll be convinced that this is the low. Until then, it's possible that we move up and then we move down. We could go to 620 and then come down and see lower lows. You know, that could happen. So closing above 630 on a daily basis is what it'll take for me, because then we'll be closing above this high, we'll be closing above these lows, closing above these points of resistance, and closing above the golden ratio zone as well, or at least in it. So all that in culmination would make me very bullish that this is the low. Until then, we're kind of in this, you know, who knows what could happen phase. It's very possible this is the low, though. I like what I'm seeing on the charts, that's for damn sure. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, the RSI, it's a little bit beat up right now, but there's some hope, right? We got some good things. We talked about these little rapid expansion moments and how they're typically followed by continuation to the upside, right? We look at the stochastics, that certainly supports that idea. I mean, we're overbought here. Typically, when you get overbought, that's whenever you're doing your best work. And the MACD is the only problem child here, but you're building bullish momentum. You know, good enough, I suppose. Daily time frame. Speaking of problem childs, man, the RSI. We haven't been overbought. You guys, Bitcoin Cash has not been overbought on its daily RSI since July. Since July of 2025. It's been over half a year since Bitcoin Cash has been overbought on its daily time frame. That's crazy. That's crazy. Speaking of problem children, this thing is a problem child. We need this to get overbought. When we get overbought, that will certainly be coordinated with the breakout, the move that we've been looking for years at this point. Certainly months. Finding support at the same areas that you've been finding support at really like since 2025 began. So I'm okay with this. Very neutral RSI overall. It's like you want to be strong, but you're just not doing it. So I have hopes. Stochastics are reset. You're coming back up, looking like the blue is crossing back out of the oversold zone. We need the orange to cross back out of the oversold zone. If both of these can get out of the oversold area, that would also be very incriminating that, for the bears at least, that this is the low. I would really start to believe that this is the low here. And again, that probably goes hand in hand with getting above like 630 or something around there. The MACD on a daily time frame, your oscillators are back at the zero. perfect area to bounce from and recover, right? Like here, when we were down and we were coming up, you're right back at the zero, perfect area to reject. Here you're at the zero, perfect area to bounce from. Hopefully we bounce from here, and hopefully we get not weaker readings, but stronger readings bouncing out of here. So all good signs. The more that we zoom out, the better things look. But things look pretty good on the short-term stuff too. So I have no problem calling for this to be the low. I would say my confidence is not like 100% that that's the low. So if it's not the low and we go lower, don't hate me. But it's greater than 50%. I'm definitely more confident than I am less confident that that's the low. So I feel confident enough to make the call. I think that's the low. And I think we're going to move up from here. And if I'm wrong, oh no, cheaper Bitcoin Cash. It's so sad. And then we go up anyways. Maybe you buy more, which means you have more up here, which means you make more money. Maybe you don't buy any at all and you don't sell and you just sit on your hands and you have to sit through pain for a second. But then whenever it comes up here, guess what? You would have had the same amount of money here as you would if it just went up here. You know, it's as long as you don't sell. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But if I had to put my guess on it, I would say I think that the low is in. I think that we're ready to move up. Bitcoin Cash, this next attempt up here could very well be the attempt that we've been waiting for. That'll break us out of this overall phase that we've been in since, what is that, April of 2024, March of 2024. That next big move, which also breaks us not just out of this range, but breaks us out of this overall range here as well, this giant wedge. We're on the cusp of breaking out of this massive historical consolidation and even this 1.5 year long consolidation here. The amount of attempts we have to the upside before that eruptive price action comes in, it's very, very small. I mean, this next attempt could be the attempt, the moment we've been waiting for. And if it's not, okay, then maybe the next one. And if that one's not, okay, maybe the one after that. But I can't imagine within the next 2 or 3 iterations anything else than just an absurd breakout coming. We're getting very close, and beyond just the fact of like moving up here, beyond the fact of like maybe taking this higher low, higher high kind of channel and keeping it going, this next attempt up, we get above these highs at all. This is why I really think this next attempt could be the moment that we've been waiting for. Whenever we get above these highs here, this next attempt, when we do get higher highs, it will be breaking us out of this whole range right here, right? It will be breaking us out of this whole range. It will be, right, we get a new attempt, we get higher prices. It's going to be breaking us out of this range as well. So if it's not this attempt, my guess would be the very next one. But soon enough, my friends, sometime between now and the end of February, this explosive move is going to start. I don't even think by the end of February is appropriate, but maybe like the middle of February. Doesn't have to be right now, but it's coming, man. It could be right now. I keep going in circles, but I'm just telling you, don't sleep on Bitcoin Cash. Buy while you can, because this is a golden opportunity, and it's impressive that it's lasted this long, let alone this long. It's not going to be here forever, and this window of opportunity is closing fast, very, very fast. When we break out, when the breakout happens, right? I mean, this chart is perfect. It's literally picture perfect. If there were any traditional chartists, technical analysts from the stock world, from the traditional finance world, and they were looking at this chart, they didn't know it was crypto, they were like, give me a good chart. I don't care what it is. It could be a stock, it could be a crypto, a commodity, whatever. Just give me a good chart. They look at this chart, they'd be like, dude, thank you. You just set me up. I was going to retire from trading. I was just going to take my money and go on vacation. Now I'm going to quintuple this money, 10x this money. This is going to be an absolutely insane breakout move that's coming next. And the chart, it's giving it to you. It's giving it to you. Where we're going to go from here in a very short amount of time, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was by the end of February, maybe sometime in March. We're going to see anything from about a 4x move at a minimum is my expectation, to, I mean, the maximum technically would be about an 11x move, technically. 4 to an 11x move. But my personal expectation would be that we see something more on the lines of this area here, the 1272 of last cycle's high to low. This is the 1272 of last cycle's high to low, or the 886 of our all-time high to our all-time low. I don't think we'll stop at the 786. Could we go higher? Could we go past the 886? Sure, we could go to the 100, but I'm thinking something in this zone is probably the most appropriate. I'm going to delete the fibs now. And that would give us anything from roughly a 4.5x move to a 6.5x move. And again, I expect this to happen by the end of Q1. We're going to kick it off probably in the next couple of weeks, if not the next like 4 weeks. But by the end of Q1, by the end of March, we should be up here, if not by the end of February, man. I mean, like, it's going to happen very, very fast. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.